Hi guys, welcome to acumbrianlad Outdoors and welcome to today's video. My Lonewolf 902 Pomoly Timberwolf stove has finally arrived. Obviously it's locked down at the minute, so what I've decided to do is come out to my permission and set up my one Tigris iron wall hot tent with the stove inside it and cook myself some tea. Obviously show you guys how to set it up, my initial thoughts, and so on and so forth. Just behind me there is a little bit of green space where I'm hoping to be able to set up my iron wall tent. So I'll go and have a look at that and we'll get set up. Right guys, that's the one Tigris iron wall tent all set up as if it would be if I was camping out. So I've put the inner mesh up as well. So it's time to get the Timberwolf stove set up. So this is the carry case that it comes with. And now my first impressions on this aren't great. It seems like just a waxed paper. I would have thought, I was expecting leather or faux leather really, to be fair. But I guess they've done something like this in order to keep the weight down. After all, this stove does weigh just 2 kilos. When you open it up, it is all material on the inside. My stove jack for later. So I did my first burn at home this morning, as is recommended, just to burn off any nasties from the manufacturing process. So we should be ready to go. Now that's your flue. It's a rolled up piece of titanium. Now, I will put a disclaimer out there. Make sure you take your time with this before you do your first burn, because you need a master's in engineering to actually to actually get it to roll the right way. Obviously it's been rolled this way, but it needs to roll lengthways. Apparently once you've done your first burn, it is a lot easier, and I certainly noticed that when I was taking it down at home. It was more stuck in that lengthways position. And your spark arrestor, and I put some little keychains on there just in case it's windy and you can anchor it down to the ground. And then we have the main stove itself, which has a quite effective velcro strap holding everything together. And it's very simple. You have your top part, your front door, your back piece, 2 side pieces, your bottom, and 4 screws. So this part's really easy. Like I say, the bit I found difficult at home was the flue, and hopefully it'll go a lot easier tonight, or should I say this afternoon. 4 o'clock, so we are losing the light, but I wanted to come out a little bit later just so we could get a bit of ambience off the flames coming through the glass, because as you can see, it's got heat resistant glass in the front. So we'll put it together. So the first thing you do is put your side pieces on. Now as you can see, there's little like slots for everything to go in. There is in the bottom as well, and this bottom part of the sidewall slot into them. So what that does is it stops it warping. It's only 0.6 titanium, so very easily they just slot in there. Same for the back. So that back piece slots in the slider on either side, and then also that will then slot into one on the bottom. So it instantly becomes quite sturdy at the back there. Obviously the front's still a bit waffy because the door's not on. So just make sure that door's the right way up. Again, I've put a little keychain on this door slide just because it does get very hot. So same again, slots on either side, and make sure you slot it into the front slot on the bottom piece, and there you can see it's become quite stable. Now what I did notice after my initial burn, I don't know whether you can see, but there is a little bit of twist in there, not a lot, but the top part's actually made in two sections in order for it not to warp as much. So very simple again, that top goes on, slot it all into place, he says, there we go, push it all in, make sure everything's nice and sturdy. So then it's time to put your bolts in. A few midges out tonight still, little buggers, so these just simply slot through. There's one. Just make sure you don't lose these screws to go on the bottom, and they are quite small. There we go. You can reach in through the front door just to make sure that you're getting them through the holes a bit easier, but obviously I'm trying to film at the same time as well, so yeah, absolutely getting eaten alive here. And the last one. There we go. We'll shut that front door up. And then we'll get these on. What we'll do is we'll just lift them legs up a wee bit. Just finger tight. Turn it around and do the back ones. Again, finger tight does it. And there we go, that's the base bit put together. Now this is your flue, I don't know whether you can see there, the flue bottom, sorry, and it's actually got a baffle in it, so as well as being able to alter your draw on the front there, you can also alter your draw on the bottom of the flue. Again, we've got 3 bolts here, and once again, you don't want to be losing these, they are quite tiny, so keep a close eye on them. Oh, I've put that one on tight. Now, when I did my first burn at home, obviously with everything being new and tight, I initially put this on. As you can see, it just slots in. And the screws go in. What I had to do was take this off and put this piece in the flue and then put it back on. But we'll give it a go as it should be tonight, because hopefully that is going to be a wee bit better for us. Right, now before we do the flue, I'm going to put my gloves on because it's very, very thin titanium and I don't want to cut my hands. And fingers crossed this is going to go a lot better than it did at home, because believe you me, it wasn't much fun at all, but we got there in the end. We've got 6 titanium hoops there, so if I roll this out, you can see there, after the first burn it does look like it's going to go into position a lot easier. Yes, a lot easier. We'll start at this end and we'll get some hoops on. Take these gloves off now we've done the hard bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put that end at the bottom this time, then it tempers that end to a tighter curl, and then hopefully next time I come to do it, it'll be even easier. Right, that's the flue together, so I'll get the stove in place, move the camera, and we'll get it lit, and we're going to be cooking some food before I get this all the way home. So there we are, that's everything set up. In the end, after the first burn, quite easy with that flue, so I'm really happy with that now. Although I would suggest to Pomoly that they preheat treat them rolled in the long position, and then it's much easier for people to get it together for the first time. I have seen one lady on YouTube actually end up creasing it that much. She ended up having to cut it, and I can totally understand why, to be fair. It was a ball ache the first time. So Pomoly, that's my first suggestion for you. Preheat these flues in the lengthways position, then roll them up for shipping. Much easier. So let's go in closer and have a look. See, I've got a little bit of room around my stove jack, so I might look at I think you can buy a metal disc with some like arrows of this heat proof material going in to help stop the rain coming in. And as you can see inside there, we have the stove set up ready to go. It is a little dark, like I say. If I look at my watch, I'm not lying to you, there we go, 25 past 4. So I am going to have to get a shifty on, but what I'll do is I'll get my head torch on for the next bit so you can see a bit more inside. But we've got plenty of room. Plenty of room. Right, I'll go and get some wood. We'll get the fire going, and we'll have some food. Right guys, no messing about now. Took a little bit longer to prep that wood than I wanted to, really. We are getting on a bit. It's coming up to 5 o'clock now, so I want to get my food cooked and get home. Few slightly bigger bits on as well, just to make sure that flue's opened right up to start with, as is the door. She's away straight away. I can't quite remember the exact dimensions of the wee stove, so what I'll do is I'll put them up on the screen for you. This Lonewolf 902 design on the top is actually a YouTuber and he's gone to Pomoly and obviously designed his own stove with them. But that little design there is supposed to be able to strike anywhere matches on it. I tried earlier and it didn't work. Whether my matches were a bit duff or not, I don't know. So I'll try again with some different matches and hopefully it'll work. But yeah, let's get this stove up to temperature and then we'll get some food fired on. Right guys, so all we're going to do tonight is make a simple stew. So a bit of gravy, granules in some water, veggie stock cube, got a carrot, got half a onion and some potato. Let that bubble away for a bit. I'm going to fry off some steak in my pan, hoy it in, a bit more water in, let it boil away, and then eat it and get myself away home. And I must say, I've got all my ventilation open, I've got the front door open, and the heat coming off this little stove is fantastic. I'm really looking forward to trying it out in some colder weather and give it a true test, but as we're all in lockdown, I really just wanted to get out and give it a go tonight, really. So yeah. 3-second rule. Bit of grass as well. Yes. Bit of store. Let's get that fired back on. Wow, the heat coming off that is unreal, like. Right, we'll let that simmer away a wee bit, and I'll bring you back when it's time to put the meat on. Oh, she's bubbling away nicely now. Look at that. So what I'll do is I'll get the meat on in a minute. Just going to sear that off in the pan, and then I'm going to fire it into this, add a little bit more water and just let it bubble away for a bit and make some good eating that. There we go guys, that stewing steak, beautiful. And what I'll do is I'll just pop this and I'll put the meat juices in with this. Bob on. A little bit of a stir about with that in among it. Well, as usual, I think my eyes are bigger than my belly, but we'll give that a go. See what happens. So we'll just give that a last stir. as we take it off the heat. Oh, she's thickening up nice, that. Now, smell good. Right, we'll just set this down this back side, right next to the fire. In fact, I'll try and get it underneath it, just to keep a bit of heat coming onto it. And we'll sizzle up that meat. Right guys, that's that stewing steak, just seared off just nicely. So I've had the veggies and what have you on underneath, just keep them warm. So what we'll do is we'll do just the same with the steak. Fire that right underneath, just to keep warm while this all the veggies start to boil up again. What I might do is, it is a bit thick, so I'm just going to put a wee bit more water in it, because she's going to need a bit of time with that stewing steak in there just to finish off. Yeah, veggies aren't quite done yet, so by the time everything's ready, it should be just about perfect, that. And so far, I'm so impressed with this wee stove. I've definitely made the right purchase. Didn't want something too big, didn't want something too small, want something too heavy, you know. And I think at this size and this weight, I've absolutely made the right purchase. Over the moon with it. The heat, honestly, the heat it's kicking out is unbelievable. Like I say, I've got all my ventilation open, the main door, the camera's sat at the main door there, and you know, it's cold outside. You know, this morning it wasn't far off freezing, and like I say, it's 5:45 now, and the temperature's dropping outside. If I go outside this tent, it's cool, even though we've had a nice warm day. But in here, it's like the Bahamas, like. Absolutely loving this. Really, really, really looking forward to trying this out in colder weather. I want to get out in some snow in it. I want to get out in some hard frost with it. It's gonna be on some awesome camps with me, this wee stove. It really is. We'll get all the meat. So as you can see, I've just seared it, just and so seared it. There's a bit of red in there still. I'll get all the meat and all the juices fired in. She can just bubble away grand until she's cooked. Right, we'll let that get up to the bubble. Oh yes, as Mooster would say. Look at that little baby go. Loving it. Right guys, this stew is just about done. I'm not sure whether the camera's going to pick it up, but that flue is glowing red hot, as is the top of the stove. You can see it. Right, there we go. Honestly, the heat and the side. Wow, look at that. The heat coming out of this is unreal. Right, hang on, I'll put my head torch on. There we go, look at that. Beef stew. Right, give it a couple of minutes, turn you around, we'll scran this, and then I don't want to put any more wood on that fire because it needs to cool down before I can take it home. The good thing about titanium is it does cool down very quick. So once it gets down to a temperature where I can handle it with my leather gloves on, I'll cope the embers out into the fire pit over where we usually hammock camp, and it'll cool down in about 15-20 minutes. Right guys, that's my stew done, ready to go. I'm having to be careful. I don't want to put any more wood on this fire now. I want to let that cool down so I can get myself away home. So see if I can get this head torch where you can see us without too much bother. Find my spoon. Oh, ready for this, like. Potatoes are done to perfection. This is carrot. As is beef. Wow, really tasty. Right guys, thank you very much for clicking on today's video. I really appreciate it. I know we're all in lockdown and it's hard times, so I just thought you might appreciate a video even though it's not a proper camp video. Once again, if you're liking the channel and my videos and sec, you can buy me a coffee. I'll put the link in the description. Any donations are really appreciated. Please only donate if you can afford it, and any donations will 100% go back into the channel to help me progress and make better videos for you guys. So yeah, I'm going to away and enjoy my stew, let my stove cool down and get myself away home. So stay safe, much love from a Cumbrian lad.